Greetings and welcome to Nathan Lyle Official. If you have never seen my face in a video before, my name is Nathan Lyle. This is my personal channel where I do vlogs, reviews, and anything else that happens to catch my fancy. This segment is something that I decided to call Anime Corner, where at the end of a simulcast run, I will review the different shows that I watched, tell you which ones were my favorites and which ones I felt were skippable. And I think there's just so many that are watchable, but I don't have time to watch all of them. Like, I've got a job, I'm trying to start a company, I'm doing all this other stuff. So if you look down in the description below, you'll see that there are links to all of the stuff that I've actually finished watching. I watched a lot more anime than this, but these are the ones that held my attention throughout the simulcast. I never missed an episode. Everything else that I watched, I'm like 2 or 3 weeks behind right now. So, out of all the anime that you see down in the description, I am going to tell you which of those were my top 5 absolute favorites from the current simulcast. We start with our honorable mention, which is really good, but just barely missed out on the top 5, and that's Rainbow Days, which you can find on Funimation. It's a slice of life comedy, just about, just high school boys doing what high school boys do. It's just a fun little 10-minute story. I enjoyed it. So now we get to the official list, starting with number 5, which is continuing from the previous simulcast, Heavy Object. So if you haven't heard of this one yet, Heavy Object is about basically somewhere in the near future, you have warfare, which is now fought solely with these giant, like Manson-sized tanks. And they're called objects, and basically, wars have become simple and boring, where you just have one object versus another. Whoever has the better object wins. And then until one day you have these two guys who managed to dismantle an object, and they defeat it in battle using nothing but their bare hands and their brain power. And some explosives, very well placed and very well timed and all that shit. It's a very interesting anime with a lot of really cool action, keeps you on the edge of your seat, and a lot of what I think is very well placed comedy, though other people have said the exact opposite. There are those who argue that the comedy takes them out of it. I feel like it all blends very well together. The thing I enjoy most about this show is just the constant chess match. It's a mental thing. It's not, it used to be just whoever had the better machine, they win. But now with these two boys, what they've done is that they've started, using their brain power, and it's just like, it's become true war again. Then moving up to number 4 on the list, we have Grimgar, A Fantasy, and Ash. Now this is one that has gotten some mixed reviews, and I feel like it definitely comes down to personal preferences, because in this case, the people who love it for the same reason that the people who hate it. And so, for me personally, I truly enjoyed this one just because it's the most realistic stuck in an RPG that I have ever seen. It's basically about, for no explanation at all, a bunch of people just randomly wake up in this weird world where goblins and all this other shit exist, and now they've got to become adventurers, and they form parties and they go out hunting goblins and stuff. And this story centers around one group of adventurers, one party, and how they struggle. They're like at the very bottom tier. They struggle just to kill the weakest monsters, and they have like no money for food and shelter. And I enjoyed it because it is very slow paced, but sometimes that's what life is. Sometimes it takes a while to figure things out, and you have to struggle through it all. And that's what I enjoy, and I think it's a very surreal piece, and I feel like it's very emotional at times, and long story short, it may not be the easiest one to sit through, but I think it is probably the best story out there, and it's definitely worth sitting through if you have the time. Next, at number 3, we have another returning favorite, Assassination Classroom, this time showing us season 2. And I personally love it. If you haven't seen it before, I don't want to say too much to spoil it, because I feel like this is one that everyone should watch. It's a very interesting story about, you've got a middle school classroom where the students are trying to kill their teacher because he's an alien that plans on destroying the world. I have been hooked on this since episode 1 and it has never failed to amaze me. It's just a really very great anime, great story, very well made. I love the characters, you get to see a lot of growth in them. I just sincerely enjoy this. Next, moving up to number 2, we have Erased, which many people will argue is the best anime of this season, which I wouldn't disagree with you, but this is my top 5, my own personal choice, and this is very close second. And when we get to number 1, I'll explain why it got number 1 and this didn't. Well, actually, I can explain it right now. This is a really great story, and it's just like, oh my god, there's so much excitement and intrigue, and I just cannot wait to see it every week. I look forward to finding out what's going to come next. It's just exciting mystery thriller that just kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time, and it never failed to amaze me. And I sincerely loved everything about it. It's a really great show, and I consider this definitely must-see anime. It needs to be checked out. If you haven't seen it yet, drop everything else and just go watch a few episodes of this. It really is worth it. And in all honesty, the only difference between this and number 1 is that number 1 is just funnier, and I like being able to laugh. So we move on to our number 1 favorite, which if you've been on this channel for any amount of time before, you probably shouldn't be surprised by what it is. My number 1 favorite anime from this previous simulcast, of course, Haikyu. Which, if you don't know about it, Haikyu is this anime about high school volleyball, and the players on the team, they're struggling to work together as a team, struggling to get stronger individually and stronger as a group, trying to reclaim their school's former glory, trying to get to another title. This is just a really amazing anime. It's had me hooked since episode 1. This simulcast did the second half of season 2, so we're already at 50 episodes. And you know what? I think I could handle another 500 episodes of this. This is one of the shows that no matter how long it goes for, I will stick around for it. This has just become quickly one of my absolute favorite of the new batches of anime. Ever since I started following the simulcast, this is one that I'm just so grateful I've got to experience. And especially in the second half, I don't want to spoil too much, but in the second half of this season, they go to a tournament and they start playing, and the stakes are high. And I find myself, I got home from work Saturday night at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm watching an episode, and here I am, just 3 o'clock in the morning, tired as hell from a 10-hour shift, haven't showered, barely eaten anything, and I am just standing on my couch yelling at my tablet. Because these games are just so intense. It's one of the most hyped up animes I've ever seen, and it really drags me into it. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Those are my 5 favorites from the previous simulcast, and feel all the links to those that I described and more down below. Feel free to check any of those out. And leave a comment down below. Did you watch any of them? What was your favorite? Are you looking forward to the next simulcast? What are some of your favorite shows you're looking forward to from the spring lineup? Come on, people. Leave me those comments. Without engagement, the community cannot grow. I know there are people watching, but I have no idea who the fuck any of you are. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more of me, and until the next time you see my face in a video, my name is Nathan Lyle. I hope you have a great day. Bye.